Today I'm going to be talking about an album from 2004, Taking Back Sundays, Where You Want to Be. I'm going to tell you which pressing I think sounds the best. So Taking Back Sunday, Where You Want to Be is one of the quintessential emo albums of the early 2000s. I have two pressings to talk about. I have the very first pressing on blue vinyl, and I have a newer pressing here on like a color vinyl. First, I'm going to show you the differences between them. So the first pressing of the album didn't come in like a gatefold or a sleeve or anything. It just was like this cardboard that was wrapped around the record. It has the album cover and the back with the track listing, and it says here from Victory Records. And when you open it, it has the lyrics and then just the vinyl. I upgraded mine to anti-static sleeve. And then the newer pressing we're going to talk about is from Vinyl Me Please. Okay, this is actually a great pressing. I'm just going to be upfront and say this is the better one. There's going to be a lot of obvious reasons why. Because first off, it comes in an album sleeve that's gatefold, that has the lyrics, and it's just really nice. It's really thick cardboard. It has like gold foiling for the name here. I don't know if you can see that. It's really interesting, and gold foiling where it says MVP Rock. And the record that it comes on is actually pretty. It's like a color and clear. I actually didn't know Vinyl Me Please did remasters of albums before, but their version of Where You Want to Be is remastered for vinyl, and it sounds phenomenal compared to every other pressing out there. So if you know anything about Victory Records and the original pressing, it's actually not a terrible pressing, but compared to the Vinyl Me Please pressing, it just sounds bad. So I've been collecting records for a pretty long time, and I've known about Vinyl Me Please. I just kind of ignored them because I just assumed everything they were releasing were just special colors of limited numbered special colors of the same pressings that everyone's releasing, which was the case most of the time. But there was actually quite a few albums where they remastered them properly for vinyl, and Taking Back Sundays, Where You Want to Be is surprisingly one of them. On the original Victory pressing, the mastering is just, it's all right. It's not terrible. It's passable. I personally thought that's just how it sounded because it was probably like a CD master that they put onto vinyl. More than likely, that's exactly what it is. And in fact, the Victory pressings were so lazy that, like I said, they didn't even have like sleeves, album sleeves for years until like 2013 is when they started like putting in an actual sleeve. But the sound on the Vinyl Me Please absolutely blows every pressing that I've ever heard out of the water. It's like a night and day difference. Like there's like good separation. The guitars are so crisp. The drums just, they sound like actual drums instead of like muffled tin cans on the other mastering. And when, you know, Adam's singing and the band's playing and the guitars and the drums and the bass and everything's going, it gets kind of muddy and in the Victory pressing, but it's so crisp and clear on the Vinyl Me Please pressing. The Vinyl Me Please pressing is just a night and day difference, and it's actually relatively easy to find right now. I highly recommend this version of this album for everyone, for people who want the best sounding version of this album, to people who want a colorful version of this album. It's actually a pretty nice color. And it's just a really high quality pressing all around of this classic emo album from the early 2000s. Like, if you can find it, definitely pick this up if you like this album. Future con here, I just wanted to mention that there is a bunch of controversy around Vinyl Me Please, how they kind of took a bunch of people's money, charged them, and never shipped items, and or were charging people the monthly fee for a record club that they weren't shipping records for or making records for. They did go under and then were bought out by another company, and I think they're in the middle of a relaunch. They said that they were announcing that they're reopening in September. It's like near the end of September now, and they still haven't done anything. So unfortunately, there is a bit of a controversy around the company for the best pressing of this album, and I just want to address that. Also, if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I try to talk about albums that aren't talked about as much, and I try to find the best pressings of each one that I like. All right, thank you. Have a great day.